Real life.
Okay.
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 So you called about wanting something you don't have, and
Mm.
that's dukkha. And the
Yes.
example I just gave you, which we'll do it again, is that I had a Bluetooth keyboard working, and then the G and the H and the I don't work. Dukkha.
Mm.
I can't use this keyboard. Got to use an on screen keyboard.
Mm.
Okay, so I use the on screen keyboard and now I can type. So I'll
Yes.
order a new Bluetooth keyboard.
Yes.
Oh, now I've got to wait because it takes a long time. I didn't order it
Yes.
from Bangkok, it came from China, so it took extra time. Dukkha.
Yes.
It didn't come when I wanted it. And then it arrived. Oh, finally, no dukkha. And so I
Yes.
set it up happily and start to use it. And now it's got three letters broken, the T, the F, and the C. More dukkha, right? But
Yeah.
between the two keyboards, I've got a full keyboard as well as the online keyboard, so not much dukkha. But
Okay.
the noticing that you don't like it when the new keyboard comes and already characters are not working. That's the level of dukkha that we should be at a level of, sorry, not the level of dukkha, but the level of the knowledge of the dukkha so that you can come out of the dukkha immediately. I'll do
Yes.
something about it. It's not
Yes.
dukkha because I can see it as dukkha and then fix it immediately. But can you
Yes.
imagine many people will have that same scenario and they're really in dukkha when the new keyboard is broken?
Yes.
Yeah, they feel bad, right? Some will feel bad right from the very beginning when the old keyboard they recognize that it's got keys not working. Can you
Yes.
imagine somebody actually throwing it across the room because they're angry because the keys don't work and now none of the keys work?
Okay, I can see that happening.
Yes, all right. So the question is can you? It's not the matter that dukkha comes. This is the
Yes.
Western mentality. Oh, you should have no dukkha.
Mm.
But the Buddha didn't teach that. He taught to look and to see, to remember to look, and to see
Yes.
if these thoughts are unwholesome, then make a change. He doesn't say to be dukkha free because those people who are wanting to be dukkha free and the dukkha comes, they don't want to know it. They want to rather be
Oh.
blind because they're not supposed to have dukkha.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
they'll see the dukkha and then they'll feel bad. Oh no, there is dukkha. Instead of saying, aha, the keyboard doesn't work and I don't like that and I can see that dukkha right now. Okay,
Yes.
aha, I see you, Mr. Dukkha. Aha, I see that I don't like that the keyboard don't work.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, this makes so much sense. I was wrapping my head around this. Oh wow.
That's the whole point is that we want to wrap our head around no dukkha. And the Buddha doesn't teach no dukkha. He teaches
Yes.
dukkha, see it, and change it so that it's dukkha nirodha. You
Yes.
will never have a dukkha free life until you are really, really sharp and you can see the dukkha in midair before it even enters the mind.
Yes. 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 Yeah, I was just thinking about how if I didn't practice the Dharma, I would be, instead of just feeling bad for like and catching it and say, oh, I'm feeling dukkha, I would literally just because of a broken key, my whole day would be ruined. Like it's
Hmm.
crazy looking back how I could let something so small ruin my entire day, but it did
That's the
happen in the
Western.
past.
That's the Western society. Everybody ruins their day over something really, really small. An
Yes, yes.
example of that is they'll see example. They'll see a poll where their candidate is down 1 point and the other candidate is up, and they'll feel bad all day.
Yes, yes.
Not recognizing that, number one, the polls are wrong. Number two is that polls change. And number
Yes.
three, polls don't even count. It's the voting that counts. And yet
Yes.
they'll feel bad because they don't like it because the polls changed a little bit. And the right thing to do is to, when you see that you're watching polls, stop. Stop watching
Yes.
polls, because the only thing you're going to get out of a poll is to feel bad. So don't
Yes.
watch political polls.
Yes.
And especially in Malaysia, you can't count on polls there at all, and yet the news
Yeah.
is full of them.
Yeah, it's always surprised me how Western countries they are so obsessed over data. Like, I get it, some data helps, but it's like, why are you guys obsessing over it? It doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I think I also subconsciously sometimes do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like predicting the future that's not grounded in reality.
Yeah, it's not real, is it? Those polls are not real. Watching
No.
the polls is not real.
Yes.
Caring about polls is not real. And yet people feel bad because they watch the poll. They'll feel bad about the character on the keyboard not working. The whole society
Yes.
is built upon that. Even in Malaysia, people are trained
Yes.
to, when something goes wrong, never mind how tiny it is, when something goes wrong, we're supposed to not like it and feel bad. We're not getting what we want.
Yes. Yeah. I come to a realization that in the past when something bad happened and then I feel bad and then I say why do because I'm still a bit superstitious. I believe in God and I was like why did God let this happen? But then I realized now is why do I allow myself to feel bad? Like I have a choice.
Well,
Okay.
that's, you don't have to ask that question, because we already know that we allow ourselves to feel bad because that's the habit we're in.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, but you don't
Yeah.
have to go all the way to feelings. You can see that this thought that you're having is dukkha, and then change it before you even start to feel bad. And all of that dukkha, with all of that keyboard that I was talking about, there was no room to feel bad, because I could
Yes.
see the dukkha as it arose. And it's possible to see the dukkha before it arises,
Yes.
that is on the way. You probably have seen a movie or two where somebody has a spear thrown at them and they catch it in midair, or you
Yes.
see that an arrow is
Yes.
shot at them and they catch it in midair, or if you've seen The
Yes.
Matrix, you can see somebody get
Yeah.
shot at with a bullet and they dodge it in midair. Okay,
Yes.
a lot of sports are like that. Okay, I see that with basketball and soccer especially, to where the ball's not going where the guy thought it was going to go.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's the whole point, is can you catch that stuff while it's in midair? The answer is not yet, but if you can catch it as it arises, that's good, because then you don't
Yes.
feel bad, because you can see it at the level of perception and the level of the salayatana without going all the way into vedana. You've heard about the
So
Paticca Samuppada before, so I'll say at the level of perception, we make up a story. Can you see that story as dukkha while you're making it up? If not, you're going to feel bad about the story you just made up.
yes. Yes.
And then later
Yes.
you can see it as you're making the story up. You can see, hey, I'm making a story that's got dukkha in it. Let's not make that story. Let's have a different story.
Yes. 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 Let's have a different story. Um, I've been doing that. I sometimes see the story forming up. I was able to choose a story of what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps. It's so helpful. I'm not sure because sometimes maybe it's like I'm using my wisdom to see, and then I just cut through it. But not really perfect. Sometimes I just
That wisdom only arises with
yeah,
sati. You got to
yes,
remember to take the wise way out. You got to remember to look at what you're doing so that you can make a change.
yes,
Otherwise, you're going to perceive dukkha. You're going to
yes,
tell a story of dukkha, and then you're going to feel bad because of the dukkha.
yes, yes.
Then you start to grasp and cling, causing more dukkha. See, there's a little bit of dukkha all the way, but we could go all the way into it when there's a birth of the self. Oh no, my keyboard doesn't work, and now we're in full blown dukkha.
Mm, 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 mm,
We
mm.
have to take the I, me, and my out of it. Nothing is worth clinging to is I, me, or my, like Bhikkhu Buddhadasa says.
Yes,
You can cling to the keyboard as a keyboard with a broken T, F, and C, but if it's
yes,
my keyboard that's broken with a T, F, and a C, now there's real dukkha,
yes, yes.
the big heavy stuff. And if you can see that you're making up a story that's got dukkha in it, you can change that story.
Yes. I also just always I keep remembering what you always said, as in Dharma is like grabbing a snake. Are you grabbing it by the tails or the head? I
Mm-hmm.
realize sometimes I grab it by the tails and it bites me back. I, as in I ask myself the question, oh, why do I have so much dukkha? But I remember one of your videos, you say I've been having dukkha my whole life. It's just now I only realize that. So I don't really have to go to the pity party.
Right. That's the whole point is can you catch it? Can
Yes,
you catch it early? That's like you mentioned about the head of the snake. If you catch the snake by the tail, it's probably going to bite you.
yes,
All right. Which
yeah,
is the same way as saying that if you catch it late, like for instance, if you catch it in the sense of paticca samuppada, when you catch the dukkha late, that's because you're already in it. You've already gotten bitten by the snake.
yes.
All right.
Oh,
So, if you can catch it by the head, means that you catch it at the point of perception.
yes.
Can you catch it as it's occurring, as it arises? Can you catch it while you're still making the story? Or are you going to make up a story and then feel bad about it?
Yes, yes.
All right. So
Oh,
that takes sharpness. It takes you the ability to remember to look at what you're doing. Remember to look at the way that you're making up stories. That's the thinking process, is making up stories.
yes. Yeah, everything just clicks. Okay.
And
Um,
if you can catch it early, no dukkha. Or if you can catch it very early, just enough dukkha to see it, and then say, "Ah, I see that."
I like how you said just enough dukkha, because sometimes I'm really stubborn when I'm not mindful. I was like, this dukkha is still okay. Let's keep going. Like, I mean, it's so stupid. Like my bad habits. I just want to sink deeper.
Those habits run deep. That's right, and they're easy to follow. But when you're training yourself, train yourself to listen to the thoughts that you're having, listen to the stories that you're making up. Because if you can see those stories as they're being made up, then you have a choice about how you're going to feel about it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I like this because the basic is really important, right? Sometimes I still go too far. I was like, okay, is there something I could know more? But maybe this is all I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yes, yes. Yeah, I don't think I have any questions now.
All right. Well, let's finish now. You got it.
Okay.
Let's do this quickly. Let's finish. Got it. If
All right,
you
I
want it,
will.
you're already in dukkha. Wanting stuff
Okay.
you don't have, that's dukkha.
Yes.
Seeing that
Oh.
you're about to want it, that's wisdom.
Oh, yeah. So to just clarify a bit. So I could want something, but it's with wisdom to see that where it is going, right? I'm not sure.
Right. So if you can see it, now you can say, I'm okay now. I can do without it. I've got options.
I got options. Okay.
I got options.
Options.
You got choices. That's the whole point. You've got a choice here. You got a choice about what you're going to do about the keyboard, and you've got a choice about how you're going to feel about the keyboard. But most people behave about the keyboard according to the way they feel because they're not really watching how they feel.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because
For faster
sometimes
than that, you can watch when you're making up the story so you don't have to feel bad about the story you made up.
yeah, like sometimes I feel like I don't have option because I just based on my feeling, I feel I really need this, but actually I can think about this. Like, oh, okay.
All right. Okay,
Thank
you
you,
go
Dhamma.
practice it. We'll talk to you later about it.
Okay, thank you, Dhamma.
Yeah,
See
see
you.
ya.
Sadhu.